It's very nice to see lots of names of firms, and although I don't know a lot of you individually, I know your firms, and therefore I wonder actually why you need to know about how to be successful. You are already successful. I'm not quite sure why I've been asked to talk about success. Now, we're at a City Awards do, and I thought that we ought to have perhaps an award. Now, I've got here something which maybe you think will represent success. It's the largest currency note, and it's genuine, in the world. Now, I often ask people what is a billion, and people tell me it's 100 or 1,000 million or a million. But in terms of seconds, it's 32.5 years. And this is not a billion, but it's 100 trillion. And Mr. Obama only gave away, what was it, 3 or 4 trillion? And this is a genuine note. But let me come back to that in a minute, because it's relevant. I've got a little handout which gives you a number of words which I think I could talk about, each word, for about 20 minutes. So I'm going to just leave you with that and not talk about that. What is success? I think everybody has a different idea of success, and I think that it's more than survival. I think it's all about achievement. You set your own goals, and it's the goals that you set that will determine whether you consider you are successful or not. And you will change those goals as you go along. And some of the goals you won't achieve, you then need to set new ones. If you're selling, and we're either selling services or products, generally speaking, what you want to do is to find a product or a service which is either high value and low volume, or alternatively, the opposite. And those usually are the secrets. And I think another secret is to do something that somebody else wants. If you can find something that somebody else wants and you can provide it, and you can provide it better than other people, that is the secret. So in your own firms, think and plan about what it is that is going to be really good for you and your firm that nobody else is doing, but for which there is a need or want, or that's not being done very well, and you know you can do it better. I think it's ripples. You can have a ripple effect. It's quite surprising how each of us, within our own families and our own workplace, can actually affect other people. Junior people, quite surprisingly I find, look up to the more senior and experienced of us. But then I think back and I did the same. And in fact, we can often find a role model. Someone like Richard Branson says that his role model was Freddie Laker, the introducer of the first cheap transatlantic airplanes. And he has modelled his life on that. So you've got to plan. One of the things that occurred to me was something really amazing that we've done in the world is to get to the moon. And what are the ingredients of getting to the moon? Because that was a success. And if we can apply those same ingredients to our own personal lives, I think that's very important. First ingredient is you've got to have the idea. You need to think and plan. With that idea, it will remain an idea unless you have resources to put that into practice. And the resources, quite simple: men, women, and some finance. But that won't get you to the moon. You need then commitment, dedication, hard work, striving, all those words, to then put it together. And the fourth ingredient is a bit of time. Now, I think that that is one of the biggest examples. If you can apply that to your own personal lives, both your family life, your work life, everything, and also promote that amongst your colleagues, I think that that will probably mean that you are more successful than you otherwise would be. Communication and understanding is hugely important. I think the world at the moment is communicating like it's never done before. We're communicating now, but it's very important because with communication comes understanding. And one of the problems of the world, I think, at the moment, is that whilst we have communication, we aren't all understanding each other. That's because we have different experiences, we come from different backgrounds, we have different education, whatever it is. Whatever the differences are, it makes this world a great, enriched place. You've got to have understanding. And if you have communication and no understanding, you're wasting your time. But you've got to start with communication. And I think today we're very lucky that that is the case. You undoubtedly need a bit of luck, and you need to be in the right place at the right time. And the right time is never when it's convenient. So you've got to be nimble, and you've got to be prepared for change. And I think the other thing is you've got to be attractive. You've got to attract business, or you've got to be an attractive character, personality. And that will bring in the business and help you. And it's this value that I want to talk about, because although I have $100 trillion, and you might think that that makes me very happy, can I tell you what value it is? Apparently, this will buy me 6 eggs in Zimbabwe. So all it is a bit of paper with some ink on, and it's got, I think it's got 12 noughts on it. So success, because I'm very rich, but actually it's not just the noughts, it's the real intrinsic value that's important. So go and dream, go and imagine, and then get on with it.